Hello, and welcome to Satisfactory. I am Maker Gaming, and we are at our little Caterium factory we built at the end of the last episode. It's just a small automation to get some quick wire going, get the research tree going, Caterium. It's just an item we needed, so now we're making it. I did a lot of little tasks over the past couple weeks, and I kind of just want to summarize a few of them so we can get to the better stuff sooner. So yeah, I decided I was gonna start decorating this area, so I decided to just, we unlocked blueprints last episode, so we might as well get the most use as we can out of them. Let me clear this guy. So yeah, let's buy some decorations. Got some windows. Then we get the inverted ramps. And yeah, so basically this is just some of my method with the blueprints, right? It's just to kind of screw around, see what I like. So this is just the first iteration. Trying to see if the ramps, the inclines look good with the beams. And then just tracing some of those lines. Just really trying anything, seeing if any of it looks good. This is like probably the third iteration, and this is fine for, this is not that important of a build. I just want to put a wall around it, really. Dumb wall. Dumb wall with windows. Mark 1s. Mark 1s for both of them. I'm going to try and be a little cleaner. Delete my work. And then yeah, I just tiled these for a little while and I got bored and I didn't finish. I got about halfway through and we are on to the next one. Thanks for watching. Alright, so we moved to another blueprint. We just got blueprints. We're going to make a bunch of them. This is for a wall for the bus. I'm just kind of trying to think of something simple. Concrete. Just a simple angle with pillars. Adding some lights. I don't love this yellow, but in hindsight, I wish I would have stuck with that yellow. This is just doing that same thing to see if I'd like it. Going down the side of the bus, which was such a big mistake in hindsight as well. You can't jump into it from anywhere. You have to have an entrance, or the height is just. Anyways, this is just me designing it, seeing if I like the look of it before I commit more and decide, yeah, it's pretty good. Full effect. Yep. So I decided to add it. And now we have a bus wall blueprint. We're gonna nudge half inch or a half meter because I just like it better slightly on rather than that example I just tried out. And yeah, that's the final design. Looks good from down here. Time to spam the hell out of it, or what? I know, let's change it to a color that's not near as good and be stuck with that for life because we're about to spam this thing 100 times. I was trying to go orange because of the dune desert, but I don't know. I could still see me changing the color. And yeah, these different projects I'm doing, they're such a plus for, like, I don't think I used blueprints enough in the last playthrough. Blueprints are the answer. Just more. And then I decide, as I learned, as I was building this and going back and forth for materials, is when I learned you can't just jump through from below because that gap's just not enough to squeeze through even ducking. So this is me making an entrance, trying out the stairs. I like them a lot. That's extra. I come up here and I notice it's not centered across the beams, and I want a beam on either side, so this is just doing some trickery with pillars. These are just tricks on how to move the pillars down. I did a lot of this with my shadow letter cubes. So I decided I'd rather the lights be correct on either side of the vertical pillars. So to fix that, I'm just going to adjust where the bridge is coming out of. I'm sorry, the exit. So we marked it 1 meter over, so now we're just going to make the exit that's 6 meters. And yeah, we'll fancy up this staircase a little later, but that's the gist. And then lights from... This actually helps, since this is future me talking about this old footage. This is actually real helpful for finding the path. It's very noticeable. So yeah, because I've been so behind, I've been real behind on my editing compared to where I am in the playthrough, so I've been playing a lot offline after this blueprint episode. And yeah, I've decided to really minimize our starter base, like this wiring issue here, not knowing where anything is. I mean, that is not a good start when one of our main planes of this series is like really good, keeping track of power really well. So this is not going to do. Exhibit A. God, it's so bad, and I've already cleaned up some of it. And another thing is we want we want to start an actual starter, not down here. And to do that, since concrete's my most important, I just ran a real simple Mark III conveyor bridge to that spoke over there. You can kind of see it right there. The ceiling mount. We've got that collecting in some industrial storages inside the base. And because they're so messy like this, I just decided I wanted just a straight section of them. We're going to bring everything into it, except I did have two that are just little depots, like that one over there, and another one right behind that cliff. Let's just see. By our designated blueprint designer spot. So yeah, those two are adding to the line, and then that one's going to take all the other concrete from there and the two spots over here, the two miners. It's going to put it all to the base. Unless we siphon some of that off. Or no, we found another limestone back there by steel. So we'll probably keep that limestone in that area back there for encased industrial beams. I should really turn my mic off and just keep working, but what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to get rid of all these power lines. But getting rid of single ones has knocked a lot of stuff off, or knocked the power plant off in general. So I'm just going to do that real carefully now. I think I'm going to mute it. I just wanted to catch up. We want to start a little nicer than this. I think we're probably going to get rid of most of this evidence. Well, that's the least fun time-lapse ever. But important. Alright, so the next step, well, let's pull up. This is an old method that I've used 100 times in 100 videos, but if you see here in the fortress here, we're looking at these two arches here. And so I'm just designing those arches. And so this was kind of my first initial trial, which turns out so bad, but it's important for the progression, right? So I left it in. This is the final result. The top of it just looks so dumb. I obviously messed up somewhere because of that middle point. But I did have the good idea too. I mean, I'm on the designer anyways, right? Which is, you know, a good tip. Design on there in case you find something you like. So I took off half and then mirrored it just to see if there was anywhere, you know, we bring it back in and it gets a little bit better. That's a better shape. Um, and then I noticed we had those two straight pillars on the top left and right, so I figured let's get rid of those. And actually I'm pretty happy with this shape. I like that point at the top. Reminds me of, I don't know, Prince of Persia, some sort of old games. So I brought one in to one of my little trial areas, and I didn't like it. So I figured let's buy quarter pipes. I have a few tickets. Let's see if we can get anything done with these things. Spoiler, we do. Voiceover is hard. Okay, so here I am, H, nudging with the arrows. This is already really promising. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't just stay with that, especially backing up there, comparing the two. Then I put pillars there to just kind of break it up. And I liked the effect, but I figured let's try it with the same material. So I nudged that 7 meters over, so we have this 1 meter overlap, square up the sides. I actually really like that. So do both sides. Compare it to that pillar one again as I back up. Dumb. But yeah, I tried a couple different ones. This one's not bad. The round is lower. And a lot of my playthrough is just kind of running through stuff. So that's what this is. I'm just running through seeing which ones I like better. I do that a lot between takes. Here's a real skinny one, which I don't like, but all these are, you know, different designs you can implement somewhere. I even shortly considered this to where I didn't vertical the foundation all the way up, and you get that little angle right there at 4 meters. And I kind of looked at it from different, oh, don't make me a liar, past me. And just kind of see what it looked like from different angles, and it wasn't bad. Then I decided to try color, or signs, light. Those are excessive, but I like the top one. I really don't like the color now. I don't know how I choose light colors, but they've been all bad this playthrough. And then yeah, I kind of have my design, so go around, make sure it works, and it works. And I really like this effect, especially with the light. That middle line's going to get covered, so we're going to miss some of that shadow, but I like it. Alright, and as you see, there's a staircase between the two arches, so we'll just do that real quick too. But yeah, this was just a matter of measuring the distance between the arches, splitting the difference, zooping it out, and putting a foundation underneath. Couldn't be simpler. Call this little segment done. We're donezo. And yeah, I mean, I think we nailed it, right? We are getting there. Okay, so I'm eventually going to build all these arches and stairs across all 4 spokes, but I'm not going to show it all now that we have the idea down. This one is where I was talking about all the concrete comes to, because man, this is where we're going to need it. Concrete and steel. And then just there were minor differences to the setup for the front entrance, which is where the bus comes out of. On to the next thing. A couple things worth mentioning, then we'll just move on to a few more design segments to finish up the episode. This is how the concrete bus right now is looking, and man, it looks so much cleaner with the white. I also added a dimensional depot. Now we'll actually stop in on the just Mark II minor milestone. One of the last episodes we already unlocked Mark III, which is awesome. That gets us to 270 now, and we have full beams production. I mean, we have multiple containers of them. So the other thing we need is right here, Mark II miners. We need to expand all this work we're doing in the Dune Desert. We're working with a lot of like impure limestone. I mean, for example, like the coal nodes, right? Those are, I believe, normal, so we're getting 60 a minute over there. We have 2 power shards in them, so we're getting 120 a minute. We get those on the Mark II with the same power shards, and we're getting 240 a minute, so it's huge. That's what we're doing right now. I think maybe I'll try this episode. I just watched an episode of Beds where he was trying out segments, and it worked really well, so maybe we do that now. This being our Mark II miner segment. It's going to go pretty fast because I should have all these materials. Alright, advanced steel production. Anything super important besides this? Oh, I guess automated wiring. I guess we could get project assembly going. Okay. That was a task, right? For those that don't know, there is a to-do list here. Alright, that's a little reminder there. Use our to-do list. We want to place... we gotta figure out which one to place. I would say we should place some coal ones, but as of right now, all 18 of our coal plants are running. We were having problems originally with this one back here, keeping these 10 full, but we got them all going now. Oh, and I just want to mention offhand, I've been using this brown all over the desert, and I started using copper finish, and I love it. Here's the difference of just the foundation of the main build. And yeah, this just looks so much better. And I'm kind of getting over the pure white for something this big, but we'll see once we put the decorations on it. But I mean, even all that giant space, this really makes it look better. I measured here, I could put 25 smelters a quarter if I wanted. I'm not going to do that. I worked on sizings. I still haven't picked a final color. I'm leaning towards the all white except the brown border, and we're probably going to change that brown to copper. We're also going to do some sort of arch out here. Actually, we're going to do that right now. But hey, here's a decent look at the bridge, the bus. Added some lights. Yeah, so the first thing to do with making this arch is we want to make sure we're dead center, that we're, the correct angle from the entrance. And so I figure, we split the 3, and that is now an exact, that's now an exact angle to the face of where the bus is coming out of. And then here I just very aggressively decided to just delete everything between those 2 towers and just build off the middle bottom foundation. And this is the technique that I was doing with those little door arches. It's, I think I have video of it. I know I have Let's Play video of it. I think I have tutorial videos of it. But this one's a little more advanced than the usual ones I do, because I usually do a multiple of 4. And with a multiple of 4, everything ends up at the right place. But with this, you actually had to do a little bit of like finagling at every point. So right now we're getting our center point, and we're getting, those 3 bases, and then it's just a process of taking the painted beam and touching it to the corner of each of the ones you already have, and then you zoop pillars from the origin, which is important if you want the perfectly circular. Oh yeah, I talk about all this in my sphere blueprint video. And so yeah, it's just a matter of using that pillar trick that I mentioned in the bus blueprint, that you just got to do a little maneuvering. And yeah, if you want, you can, put this at quarter speed to see it a little better. I don't want to show too much of it, but it slowly grows. A couple cycles of it. Something fun about making these things. Peaceful. Except when you mess up. Then it's horrendous. And if these get a little bit hard to work with because of the other ones, what I would usually do is I would drag out the ones next to them and then delete the ones that are in the way, and then where you dragged it out, you drag it back in, and then you delete those placeholders you had. But I got around it without it. And yeah, that's the final arch shape, which I think looks good. I was kind of centering up against the space elevator. And then yeah, just kind of seeing how the wall is going to connect above it. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good place to kind of call it quits on the arch and the rest of all this, and move to our last subject, which would be the towers. So this is what we got to get into. All right, so we have the basic arch down. I think that's going to work. And I still don't know exactly how we're going to finalize this thing, but we have the shape down, right? And that's what we're doing with a lot of this. Now we've got the shape down for these 4 spokes. We're definitely, we decided to do the inside of this one copper because to match the top design of the other ones. I'm kind of leaning towards all of this being iron, considering it's the Earth nation. And this just being iron ingots going out to the world. Kind of branching off to each corner, but we'll see about that. We're not there yet. We're still just designing. And this is what I was thinking of. This is a 3 foundation circle. Made just like the same method with the other circles, just with more clicks. I believe this is 4 clicks. But I wanted to try something. I've always thought about this, but before Nudge it was never really possible, but I actually want to go a little bigger than 3. That way I can shrink down to 3 for a few things. So what I was thinking was, now with Nudge this is much easier, and because it's a small circle, but that was 1 meter. That would be 2 meters. So yeah, we're actually getting a better circle here. Of course, that could be better for meeting things like ramps and things. That's a pretty good cross. I wonder, would 3 be too far? Three might be even better. What a fun discovery. Might not be that big a deal to some people, but that's awesome. So 3 out would be great for roofs. Flared out roofs. So do we want to go 1 out or 2 out? That's 1, that's 2. 2 looks better, but I'm guessing 1 would look better in terms of the roof jutting out farther. So yeah, I think I want to go 1. But to start that, I mean, we just got to start the tower first. Alright, now we got to find out where to put these. Kind of just want to center, right? And I kind of want to use these as guides, right? Maybe something like this. And if we went 3 out, 3 in, that's actually pretty good. Okay, so we just got to find the spot for that. So we go up. And these heights don't match, but we'll fix that once we get the... Right now we're just trying to get where the center of this tower is. Alright, so we have the 3 across. Then that one, 1, 1, right? So it's kind of this one-ish. Is about where that middle point should be. Let's just do that so we have a little bit... No, we're making a castle now. Haha. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty much exactly what I wanted. Well, from up here it looks like it. Let's see down here. Remember, we're still going to go out 1 or 2. We'll do that right now, but first let's just make sure. it's the right vibe from all sides. Oh yeah, that'll be cool. So what I like to do with nudge is I like to kind of point my cursor to be in the cardinal directions. It just usually makes the arrow keys work a little better. Cat. Alright, we got it. Alright, I'm going to copy that exact same process on the other side. And then I'll be back to vertical zoom down and all that. Woohoo! Alright, I got the second one placed. They look even. They look good. So I really want to start dragging them down, but as seen here in the photo, there's 5 of them, right? 2 in the front, 3 in the back. But there's 3 more to do, right? The smart thing to do is to blueprint it. So that's what we're going to do right now. I guess we can get our sample one out of here. Get out of here, burrow. Alright, that's the bottom. Easy enough. I mean, we'll see how easy it is to place, but... call it the seed. The tower seed. Alright, the way we can... I mean, that pretty much shows it, but... those dots in the middle of the compass up there, that's why it's so nice to be on the world grid. So we know this is the center one because of that. I wonder, can we go in the middle of a blueprint? We can. Yeah, that's dead on, right? Build around me. Build my prison. Man, I love when things go, you know, easy enough. 2 more. I'm not doing anything on that to-do list. I guess that means the to-do list wasn't smart. Man, check out this efficiency. Am I right? Ha! I can move it with me inside of it. That's great. And I just walk away assuming it's right. Oh, I don't know if I've ever shown off that stupid... what'd I call that? The Dune Road? Alright, we'll do the last one outside of it. What good work we do. Let's end on the hard ones. Does this mean we're going clockwise? Starting at northwest. Alright, moment of truth. Here we go. No, it's not vertical. For some reason that just made a Starsky and Hutch quote pop up in my head. Where he's like, do you want the blonde or the brunette? I thought I'd just leave the most random piece of in-game voice to end it on. We're just pulling out all these towers, pulling them all down from the seed blueprint, and that basically wraps us up. I mean, I'll keep showing it. Got to finish them all, and the ones on the outsides. I actually forgot to do the outsides on a couple of them, but we'll get to it. Yeah, these are looking exactly like I hoped. we are going to make this fortress. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment if you made it this far. Because man, this thing is disjointed, and I apologize, but I had to get through this. This was, I don't know, 7, 8 hours of footage, and I had to cut it all down so we could skip forward in the next episode, right? Progress. Thanks for watching. Our copper or red roofs, I think, hopefully are going to add a lot to it. But it's something. It's definitely something.